Want to submit your letter to the editor? Here is how. Walk it. If the ocean rises another 2 feet, entire swaths of savanna, gauge, could be underwater. According to the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, sea levels could rise 9 feet by 2050, photo, Stephen Morton, Bloomberg. As of November 14, when Syria formally joined the Paris Climate Agreement, the United States stood alone as the only country on Earth planning to withdraw from the Global Climate Accord. The United States government is the only government that promoted fossil fuels and elicited jeers from the crowd at the global UN climate talks in Bonn last month. And Donald Trump is the only head of state who denies the science of climate change. The scientific consensus on climate change is clear. 97% or more of scientific articles have concluded that climate change is real and is largely caused by humans. Climate change is not a distant danger. Its destructive impacts, extreme weather events and less predictable weather, sea level rise, heat waves and increased smog and associated lung and heart disease are hitting us today. Extreme weather has battered millions of people around the globe in 2017, stealing lives and homes, leaving in its wake unwilling refugees without access to clean water, electricity, transportation, or food, and costing hundreds of billions of dollars. From destructive floods in India and Houston, to a succession of devastating hurricanes in the United States and the Caribbean, to rampant wildfires in Northern California and Europe, we are suffering. While climate change affects everyone, the people who have least to do with causing the problem suffer disproportionately from its negative impacts, including low-income families and communities of color across the United States. A recent study concludes that if unmitigated, climate change will make the United States poorer and even more unequal. Tennessee and other southern states, which tend to be poor and hot already, will lose the most, with economic opportunity traveling northward and westward. Most of us probably know at least one person whose life was turned upside down in the past 6 months by an extreme weather event. 2 of my family members lost their home in California and everything in it to the wildfire that devoured over 8,000 structures and took 42 lives in October. And a good friend is adrift after Hurricane Irma destroyed his home and his car in the Virgin Islands in September. A link has been posted to your Facebook feed. Climate change is personal. It is a health issue, a justice issue, an environmental issue and an economic issue. The good news is that many U.S. states, cities and businesses have stepped up to fill the federal government leadership vacuum on climate action. In June, Nashville Mayor Megan Barry, Knoxville Mayor Madeline Rogero, Chattanooga Mayor Andy Burke and Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland joined 379 other U.S. climate mayors to adopt, honor and uphold the pledges to the goals enshrined in the Paris Agreement, intensify efforts to meet each of their city's current climate goals, push for new action to meet the 1.5 degrees Celsius target, and work together to create a 21st-century clean energy economy. U.S.